Hello everyone, welcome back to Legally Blind and to part 2 of this interview with Mahmoud, a young blind Egyptian college student. If you've missed part 1, I will leave the link to that down below. In this part of the interview, we talk a little bit more about how it's like to be blind in Egypt. I asked Mahmoud some questions about his life in Egypt and about his support system, and also about his plans for the future and what he hopes for himself in the future, and some of his concerns that have to do with being blind. I apologize for having been a bit slow with the videos lately. There's been a lot going on, but I do have some cool stuff planned for this channel, and thank you for sticking with me. I promise to tell you all about what I've been up to, and without further ado, please enjoy this video and let me know in the comments section what you want to discuss and talk about. Without further ado, please enjoy the rest of this interview with Mahmoud and let me know in the comments below what caught your attention. Did something surprise you? There's some interesting cultural stuff in there, so I'd love to hear what you guys think, especially if you're not very familiar with Arab culture. Don't forget to hit that like button, share the video with anyone who might be interested in it, and here we go. So you mentioned a little bit about people who supported you in life, like your teachers. Who else? Like, who is the most supportive person in your life as a kid and now?
I think my mother.
Your mother, yeah.
Yes, my mother is the most important person who supports me.
How did she do that?
From my childhood, as I'm by the way the only person who is blind in my family.
Right.
From my childhood, my family, my family considers me like a curse or something wrong in family. I don't know why.
Tragedy.
Yes.
Okay.
This is because I'm a blind man. So my mother could change this. By the way, even my father considered this in his opinion that I'm a curse. Something wrong, to the extent that makes him diagnosed with some diseases.
Wow. Just to clarify, you mean like he was so upset and stressed about you being blind that he got sick?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Go ahead.
My father could change this by making me ready to do so.
Right.
For example, when I joined nursery school, she learned how to teach me Braille to be able to study in my school.
Wow, she taught you herself?
Yes, she learned it from my teachers.
Wow.
And they taught me how to use this way in just 3 months.
Wow.
And this is very rare. So most students at this time, at this age, learn this way in about 1 year and a half or 2 years. And this made her a word, the idealistic mother.
Oh, yeah, the model mother prize.
Yes.
Yeah, awesome.
She also awarded this prize in primary school when I became the second for Cairo.
Yeah.
In primary school.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes, she also made my father think of what we can do, what they can do as a family to make me distinguished in my academic life.
Yeah.
So they brought me some teachers so that I could take some distinguishing lessons or something like that.
Like mentorship.
And yes.
Yeah.
All these things help me a lot to respect my mother. I really respect her. Additionally, I see that she exerts great efforts to meet my needs and my brothers and my sisters as well. Needs.
She sounds like an amazing person.
Yes, that's really true.
And how does your father feel about you now?
Alhamdulillah, I think that he's proud. He's proud of me now, especially when I became the second for Cairo in primary and preparatory school,
Mm-hmm.
and was the first for Arab Republic of Egypt in ثانوية عامة, especially when I scored an unprecedented average.
Mm-hmm.
This makes them very proud of me. All my family, not just my mother, and alhamdulillah for that.
That's great. All right. So, Mahmoud, how do people usually treat you in Cairo? Like people who don't necessarily know you very well, strangers. If you go to a coffee shop, if you go to a restaurant. I know you probably don't go out a lot, but if you do, when you do, how does that usually go?
Unfortunately, I am sorry to say that people are not aware of the nature of blind people.
Mm.
Unfortunately, this is pervasive in Egypt,
Yeah.
not just in Cairo. But let me say that this is the point from which people ignore anything when they deal with blind students or blind people in general.
Mm-hmm.
In general, they see that blind people have limited abilities.
Mm.
Some people express very clearly
Mm.
that blind people are not aware of what's happening
Right.
around them,
Right.
and this is a very big catastrophe, I think.
Mm. So what are like
Something
some of the most like annoying or hurtful things that people will sometimes say or do around you? You can even say them in Arabic if that's easier, like colloquial things that they might be saying.
the most important thing I'd like to mention here is the mentality.
Mm.
For example, I think that there are so many problems
Mm.
we as blind people face in Egypt or in the human society. But in Egypt, the topic is very pervasive,
Mm.
is very complicated. For example, work.
Right.
Here I don't mean work, I mean good work.
Mm.
I mean that if I have good criteria for a certain work, unfortunately, when employers choose people who can see or who are sighted, they unfortunately prefer them.
Yeah.
Even though we both are efficient.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. You can do the
Uh,
job just as well, if not even better than.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Another problem, marriage.
Yeah.
I always categorize into three types.
Mm.
The first one is those who make the blindness a reason
Mm-hmm.
for which they are lazy,
Mm.
and they suppose that they are not required to do anything in life.
Right.
They suppose that they are not required to seek success or something like that in life.
Right.
The second one is those who strive for a successful life, and they also want to achieve. They all have a strong desire to achieve what they aspire for and dream of,
Mm-hmm.
and they face their problems and challenges very bravely.
Yeah.
The third one is people who want to do something like sighted people do.
Mm-hmm.
Such people are rare, I know, but
Yeah.
they are existent in life.
Yeah.
Marriage, unfortunately, when people, when when blind people want to get married to a sighted girl,
Mm-hmm.
all what I said now, what I said is not taken into consideration.
Yeah.
They don't differentiate between people who are lazy,
Yeah.
between people who do nothing in life, and people who seek, who do everything in life, and as much as they can.
Yeah.
Some people, some girls, accept to get married to a blind man,
Mm-hmm.
but what I see is there are some criteria for that.
You mean they agree to marry a blind person, but only on certain conditions?
Yes,
Or
some people, some girls, yes,
yeah,
or accept to do so.
yeah. But
And unfortunately, there are some criteria to do so.
like what?
For example, some girls do so as a final option for them.
Mm.
They are older than usual
Mm-hmm.
for marriage,
Yeah.
and there is a blind man that wants to ask for hand.
Yeah.
Then she accepted. She
Yeah.
accepts.
Yeah.
There is another reason. For example, when some girls are not beautiful enough
Mm.
for the society criteria. Yes.
So they consider themselves, or the society considers them not beautiful enough. So
Yes.
they basically they settle for marrying a blind person as if this is like, better than nothing kind of situation.
Some girls also try to get married to a blind man to have something good from God and something like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Like they do
I
it,
see.
you mean they do it as a good deed that they'll be rewarded for?
Yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, all these criteria make me very sorry to announce or to make others know about.
Yeah.
There, some people, some blind people, but they are rare.
Mm.
Uh, get married to sighted people, sighted women
Mm-hmm.
in a normal way.
Yeah.
In a normal way, like I think the most important example I'd like to mention here is Suzanne, the wife of Dr. Tahsin.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
I when I read when I read the book entitled "With You," Mac Arabic, it appears to me how to what extent the relationship between them are strong.
Did they fall in love with each other, or was it an arranged marriage?
No love.
Ah, that's great.
Yes,
Yeah,
she
I
she
read about
got
it a really long time ago, but yeah, I forgot the details. Yeah.
she got married to Dr. Tahsin,
Yeah.
uh, and she trusted him. She believed in his abilities, and I think this is what we should
This is
look
how it
for.
should be. Yeah. Yeah. It's very nice. So what would you like to do after graduating from AUC? And how would you like to be treated after AUC? Do you have any concerns for your future that have to do specifically with being blind?
In fact, I have so many concerns.
Yeah.
I feel. Let me say that I personally have so many challenges in life.
Mm.
What I believe in is life is uh, is not a race at all,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a very complicated challenge, like blindness.
Yeah.
So I personally do my best to achieve what I aspire for and dream of.
Yeah.
What I aspire for and dream of is difficult,
Mm.
but it's not impossible.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, yani what I'd like to do is related to my major, literature,
Yeah.
comparative literature, and I'd like to do so many things in this field, but I don't know to what extent I will do so.
Yeah.
I love writing very much. So I will minor in creative writing or writing at EC, inshallah, to be qualified to be a good writer, inshallah.
That's great. You know,
Yes.
when I was a student at AUC, the creative writing minor didn't exist actually. Um,
Oh,
yeah, but I was very interested in creative writing, so I took the couple of courses that were available. But yeah, there was no minor, so it's really good that the minor is there now.
yes,
Do you think you would like to teach?
yes.
Yeah, that's great.
I'd like to teach, inshallah, comparative literature or English. There are so many things I'd like to do, but the future will keep you updated
Yeah,
with anything, inshallah.
that's right. Well, I wish you all the success, yeah, Mahmoud. At the end of our interview, no, I've kept you long enough. I just wanted to ask you if there is someone other than your awesome mom, if there's anyone you would like to shout out as someone you look up to, either because of their work or because of how they inspire you. Could be anybody. They don't have to be a blind or visually impaired person. Someone who inspires you or who you look up to as a role model.
Okay, there is somebody I'd like to mention here. I'd like to tell you about.
Mm-hmm.
This person, in fact, disappointed me.
Oh,
But yes, but as a result of this appointment,
mm.
I'm at EC now.
Oh, okay.
I was the second for Cairo in preparatory school.
Mm-hmm.
I met one of those who are in charge of education in Egypt,
Yeah.
especially special those who students from special needs,
Mm.
and I requested him to study science department in ثانوية عامة.
Yeah.
As I love science,
Mm.
I love the biology, chemistry, physics.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be a doctor. I don't want to be a chemist or engineer or something like that. But I
Mm.
enjoy I enjoy studying such courses or such subjects. Yes,
Yeah.
I join. Yeah, unfortunately,
Mm.
he said to me that Egypt belongs to third world countries
Mm.
and we can't do anything for you.
Right. So he basically told you there is no way you could pursue a career in science as a blind person in Egypt.
No, he told me that there is no way to
Ah, okay. Right.
study. Yes,
So you mean like the secondary school education for blind students does not offer science?
yes,
Ah,
yes.
okay. I got it.
Uh, just the art department
Right.
that's available for us to study.
Wow.
I have I have no problem to study the art department, but what made me upset is I don't like the way public schools follow
Mm.
to teach us the art subjects.
Right.
They usually depend on memorization more than understanding. And in fact, I was puzzled. I was disappointed with this decision. And what he said was very complicated for me to understand.
Yeah.
But I exerted more efforts in such a department, and Alhamdulillah, yani I was the first, but there were a lot of efforts I exerted to do so.
Right.
This person, if I'd like to send him a message, I'd like to tell him that you are not qualified enough to be in your position, to be in your office.
Hmm.
Please believe in people who have desire to study.
Yeah.
Please, I'd like to call everyone in Egypt. Please believe in people who have nothing to do except for asking for science.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, for me, I want to ask for science. I just to learn. I
Yeah.
just to study.
Yeah.
I'd like to study.
Hmm.
So that
Right.
that's enough.
I really hope that science education will be available
Yes,
for blind students soon in Egypt. I actually didn't know that that was the case. I thought when you first started talking, I thought maybe this person just was advising you to avoid science because it would be easier for you. But it seems like the option isn't even available, and that's very unfortunate. But what about someone you admire? Is there someone you admire who inspires you?
as a leader, I admire every any successful man who is successful in his field,
Or woman?
or woman. Yeah, right. There are some people I I admire. For example, يعني most of them are writers.
Okay.
Uh, for example, Dr. Mustafa Mahmoud.
Yeah.
For example, Abbas Mahmoud al
Hmm.
Dr. Taha Hussein.
Of course.
And there are some Western writers like Goethe. I admire this philosopher.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Yes,
that's great. That's a very nice list. Okay, thank you so much, Mahmoud, for doing this interview with me. I'm sure that it's going to be helpful and interesting for many people who watch this channel who are
yes,
from other parts of the world and have no idea how things are like in Egypt. Uh,
yes.
so thank you so much.
Before leaving, I'd like to mention some points.
Please.
Uh, Let me express it in Arabic.
Sure.
آه، في الحياة خليني أقولها كمان بالعامية.
Mm-hmm.
آه، في العديد من المصاعب بجد. حياتي كمحمود وحياتي كإنسان أعمى، خليني أقول أعمى، واجهتني كتير قوي من التحديات في حياتي. ويؤسفني إن أقول إن في تحديات، يعني معظم من ساعة ما اتولدت والتحديات بتبقى أكبر من سني.
Mm.
لكن ده دربني كويس قوي على إني أي مشكلة في الحياة أقدر نتعامل معاها، مش بسهولة بس بقدر أتعامل معاها. والتحديات حتى مستمرة حتى في اليو سي.
Mm.
وأنا اللي عايز أقوله إني ما ينفعش أي حد يستسلم بسهولة، وأنا خطابي في المقام الأول للمكفوفين كان الكلام ده لأي حد.
Mm.
ما ينفعش إن أنت تستسلم في الحياة. و for me it's impossible for me to give up. الحياة مش عبارة عن سباق،
Mm.
الحياة كلها تحديات. كف البصر لوحده تحدي،
Mm.
وكف البصر عامل زي الأم اللي بتورث أمراض.
Mm.
فكف البصر تحدي بيولد تحديات وصعوبات في الحياة.
تمام.
لكن أنا كمحمود مش مستسلم لده. وعلى الرغم إني تجربتي كانت غريبة إلى حد ما نقدر نقول، إلا إني مبسوط بيها. وما أتمناش في يوم من الأيام إني أشوف، لأن ما أظنش إن هي دي الحل الوحيد لإن الإنسان يبقى عنده إرادة.
Mm.
لكن أهم شيء في الحياة أقدر إن أنا أختم بيه، أتمنى إن ده يكون حاجة مهمة أوي تتقال، إن الإنسان إنسان في المقام الأول. اسعى ورا اللي أنت عايزه، وما تخليش أي حاجة تحبطك، سواء كانت الحاجة دي مادية زي الناس، أو الحواس اللي إحنا فاقدينها زي البصر، أو حتى حاجة معنوية زي كلمة نابعة من تفكير متخلف بتنم عن إن الشخص اللي بيقولها مش عارف يعني إيه كفيف، أو إن هو شايف إن الكفيف عبارة عن قطعة لحم وخلاص على كده. بليز يا جماعة، ثقوا بأنفسكم وبعقولكم في المقام الأول. ما تخليش حاجة تقف قدامكم.
That's a beautiful message, yeah, Mahmoud. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
So this was the end of the interview, and honestly for me it's been eye-opening as someone who is from a slightly different social class and having a different level of disability. I was not aware of a lot of the things that Mahmoud talked about. But I want to hear from you guys. What surprised you? What's different or what's the same in Egypt and in your country? Let me know. Let's have discussions. As always, thank you so much to my patrons and all my subscribers. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
دي نضارة.
Is that your little brother?
نضارة شمسية. ايه؟ دي بتاعتي. انزل لماما. ماشي يلا باي.